And that was kind of interesting because it was an interesting game. If it wasn't for...
It was an annoying game to me.
Well,
but
there were some interesting aspects to it that, if you think about it, but the problem is you can't really think about it because all we want to think about is
the big picture.
Who's going to be the next head coach.
Yeah. Oh, that's the problem. Like, I did that the next morning, too. I went back and watched. I'm like, well, I have it open there. You got to catch that. That's a terrible throw. That's a great play call. Didn't work out. That's a penalty. God, at the worst time. There's a turnover inside the red zone again. Go figure.
Well, then,
it's
Tony
so
White,
frustrating.
Tony White brought up the Mekhi Danzy blocked punt that never was. And it's like, yeah, man, there's so many. That game could have been a blowout.
Yeah.
And it's just.
But the one he didn't block, they still got the ball to 35. And then they got the ball to the 8.
But they may have scored.
Yeah, well, if your quarterback cuts back, you might score instead of running out of bounds. There's a lot of reasons they lost that game. But it wasn't like, just speaking specifically about the game itself, it's like, the Giants just fired, what's his name?
Daboll.
Well, he deserved to be fired. He also kicked a field goal on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line in the third quarter. I don't know that anybody's done that in the NFL in 25 years, since like Dan Reeves was a coach. So I would have, after that game, I feel like I would have peppered him with, like, what were you thinking? Like, what? Even if you don't get it, they have the ball at the 1. It makes no sense analytically to kick a field goal from the 1-yard line. And you lost by 4 points, by the way, and now you're out of a job. It wasn't like Norvell did anything in the game Saturday night that was like, what are you doing, coach? That's just a stupid decision. Not only is he not even calling plays anymore, but it's like, it's the piling on of, just the losses and the way they do it.
Some people saying on our message boards and on Twitter, you can't blame this on the coaches because the players drop the passes. It's like, no, man, that's not when you've lost as many games as they've lost.
That game probably isn't on the coaches. That doesn't excuse the other 13 that have happened in the last 2 years.
Well, when players don't perform, and that's not performing, right? You don't execute the plays that are there for you to be made. You have to get at the root of why that is. And when they don't perform over the course of many games, then it easily can be brought back to the head coach. What are you not doing
and on the
that
road,
allows them to not perform? And while there's nothing in practice that he's doing that would cause Pittman to drop that ball, it's a symptom of a larger issue. And look, at the end of the day, rightfully, people are going to say, I don't really care. They just always lose.
Right. Close games.
I don't care. If it's a road game, they're going to lose. If it's an ACC game, they're likely going to lose. It may look different every week. It may be a player here or a play there. It doesn't really matter. They're just going to continue to lose.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
Here's the question, though. And this is why everybody's tuning in, gang. And this is why everybody's, if you're not signed up to Warchant, be signed up to Warchant, because there probably will be a coaching search coming up soon.
I would hope that's happening currently.
There is a possibility they're going to win this Saturday night.
Well,
they're
you would think
2-touchdown favorite.
They should.
NC State and Florida aren't incredible. I know they're road games.
Yeah.
I know they're road games, but they are due to play well on the road at some point.
Are they? Is that how that works?
The law of averages, gang.
We're due.
They're overdue.
You think Boston College is due to play well too, Corey?
Well, no, but Boston College sucks. Florida State does not suck. They just don't play well on the road. It might click. And I know y'all can laugh, but it could happen. They could win a game on the road. They could win the next 2 games on the road, and then he's 7-5 after 2-10.
Yeah, I'd fire him.
I know you would. We know that. You're on record. Will he be fired at 7-5?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know how we would know.
Yeah, because it's not as black and white as he's gone. There's 3 games where if they win and look kind of decent doing it, you're 7-5 going to a bowl, and that makes you 8-5. Well, gosh darn, you went from 2 wins to 8 wins. In 4 of your losses, you could have won. He might be back.
Got great empathy for Florida State fans right now, because we have no choice but to have the vetting and the airing of the grievances on a regular basis now. And it's like, I don't think there's a scenario, to Corey's point, if you won out, and I don't think there's a scenario if you lose out, whatever. Until they announce whoever the next coach is going to be, nobody's going to be excited about where this program's at. And, nobody knows when that's going to be, save for the one released statement, which was that they'll evaluate it at the end of the year. And so there's if you're hopeful that you're going to find out something sooner than that, you might.
It's going to take a bad loss Saturday, probably.
But you don't know it. And so you're kind of just left in limbo. And I was saying this yesterday, that feeling of being in limbo is terrible. I'd rather know that something's, a difficult task or something that you have to get past, but you have a plan of attack. When you don't have that, and fans don't, they may behind the scenes, Ira, they may have this all worked out but nobody knows what that is. And so you feel helpless, and it's a place that causes consternation and a lot of aggravation. And certainly people are at this point just kind of bereft of hope.
Well, that's why I wrote what I wrote, was that just because we don't see it and just because you don't know what it is doesn't mean nothing's happening. Because I do think that it's easy for people to fan the flames by saying, oh, well, they're just not doing anything. They're oblivious to this. They don't know what's happening. It's like, come on, man. They just sued the conference. They're built a $250 million expansion. They built a $140 million football facility. Football matters. They care. They want to get it right. They're going to get it right, or they're going to try to get it right. But that doesn't mean firing somebody is definitely the right answer. And I'm not saying that it is or it isn't right now in terms of making a change mid-season versus waiting until later. I could see a scenario where if you either lose this game, and it's no guarantee you win this game, you lose this game or you lose the NC State game. I could see maybe announcing that this is going to be the end of his tenure.
Best case scenario, right?
He's going to coach the
Florida game. He gets to coach
game.
the Florida game. He can beat Florida at Florida, plant the flag in the middle of that field, and get carried out on the shoulders.
I think the most likely scenario to me, just like Ron Zook did at this stadium.
I know.
20 years
Return
ago,
the favor.
I could definitely see that. To me, if I had to pick the most likely scenario, is it gets announced before the Florida game.
Because you're assuming they're going to lose. For some reason, you're assuming they're going to lose in Raleigh.
It's weird. I think they might lose one of these next two games.
That's crazy.
I'm not seeing the two-game ACC win streak. I'm not seeing or a road win right now. But so now you've got those. That's the way I would see it playing out. But, we'll see. Can
we do a pick-me-up, though? Because this is
you did a good job of bringing us down.
Yeah, I know, but that was my fault.
That was
my fault. Well, I was just saying there isn't. I mean, it's not unheard of that they would win these 3 games. It's not impossible, I should say. It's improbable, but not impossible. But what's bothered me the most over the last month, really the last 12 months, is people poor-mouthing Florida State, the program, so much as if right. I saw on the message board somebody had Florida State as like the 4th or 5th best job available if it became available. I'm like, what are y'all? People are just idiots. I don't mean idiots. That's too strong. LSU's a better job. Is Florida? Because I've been in this state for the last 15 years, and clearly they don't hit home runs. They hit a home run with Urban Meyer and Steve Spurrier, and everybody else has sucked. So are they a better program because or do they have more money? What's a better program? Does it mean you get to win more or you have more money? Because Florida State is a better program than Auburn. It's a better job than Auburn. It is. And it's a better job than Florida. It's at least as good a job as Florida. So you're not going to be picking from the bottom of the barrel when it comes to head coaching prospects. You're just not. Florida State is a blue blood in an attractive program. You won't be able to get Lane Kiffin. But you can go get
one Lane Kiffin,
exactly.
Frankly.
But you can go get any coordinator in the country that you want. They would walk to Tallahassee to be the head coach of this program.
Yeah, I think the people who would say that are telling you that it's about resources and that you have more resources at certain Big Ten schools and SEC schools currently. That's where the landscape's changed. You're right. That would be from a financial standpoint. There are schools with more money.
Where's it easier to win?
But
Auburn or Florida State?
Well, first of all, the Auburn job is not anywhere close to the Florida State job. We agree on that. The Florida job, yeah, I think that's probably a great job.
Even.
It's not. I would say this: the Florida job is not what it once was, because I think that if you're Lane Kiffin, you can win just as easily at Ole Miss as you can Florida. Yeah. I don't see the need to leave if you're happy, if you like it there. I mean, you have all the same resources in terms of the money being poured into your program now. Obviously, you get cut the same check.
Same league.
Recruiting talent base is better in Florida.
Talent base is better in Florida. But if you are an elite recruiter, you have the same rev share number, and if you have the same NIL number, and you're a more charismatic coach, you might have a shot. I mean, we're seeing people win all over the place that they've never won before.
Right. Yeah, no, you have a shot. I do think, though, I think you have a better chance to win a national title at Florida than you do at Ole Miss. And so, to me, Lane Kiffin can stay at Ole Miss and have a chance to be a legend and not even get pressured if he goes 8-4, 9-3 a couple of years.
That's what I mean.
Where in Florida, you could be out of a job in 3 or 4 years.
If it was just money, is my point, that you can win 8-9 games, keep your job, be a legend at Ole Miss, and make the same amount of money that Florida's willing to pay you.
But I will say that in the 25 years I've been here and around college football in this part of the country, LSU is the job that almost every coach wants.
And it's for good reason, except for they're crazy.
They are crazy.
Yep.
But
100%.
But you get unbelievable state for defensive linemen, for talent overall.
Yep. And they're invested.
You own the state. Like,
and they will fire
state.
you. They'll fire you after you win a national title.
Right.
They'll fire you if you're 34-14.
But
They don't care. They're going to fire you.
If you want to win a national championship, you want to be like Mike Norvell and hoist a trophy. Then
because he's won championships.
That's where
everywhere.
That's where you want to be. I mean, that is the job. So to me, if I'm Lane Kiffin and I want to win national titles and I want to have they're going to give me everything I need, and I believe in myself, I'm going to LSU. I'm not going to Florida.
So
I'm not saying no.
Let's say that James Franklin is who Auburn, LSU. We can't say Penn State. They clearly don't want him. Auburn, LSU, Florida, and Florida State all want. And I know that's hypothetical. I'm not saying I don't even know if Florida State's interested. If you're James Franklin and you want to win a national title or get to the playoff, if money isn't that much of an object, or why would you not be in Tallahassee?
I think there's a chance he is interested.
Yeah,
right. I think the interest is, number one, you have all the stuff that Florida has as far as tradition, history. Same thing with LSU. You have as much tradition and history as LSU.
And now you've upgraded the facilities to be
competitive by
more
God.
than competitive in some cases.
And also, you're in the ACC.
Yes.
I mean, that's
exactly
why I
great
keep saying
job.
this
It's
is
a great
job. It is a great job. The guy here has flown it into the sun, or into a mountain. I guess sun could be positive. He's flown it into the mountain and it's crumbled into the.
Apparently not, because he's maybe win these last 3 games.
Well,
but turn it all around, Corey.
I mean,
win that bowl game.
Yeah.
That's 4
wins.
wins. Not only is it 4 wins in a row to
Let's
close
go
out,
streaking.
it's 5 out of 6.
Yeah.
It's 5 out of 6. All of a sudden, you're top 12 in the country going into next season, especially if you bring the offense back. But no, I just want people to understand Florida State is a great job. I don't know that you're going to go get a P4 or P2 head coach.
You
also
may not
don't know
want
that you
to
want
at
one,
this point.
but you can go get any coordinator that you want. If their first job at Florida State, they're all going to be there. They will get here with quickness.